This video is published by MBKP International LLC. In this video I'm going to show you how to fix your clamp if it's getting stuck in the down position. And I'll give you an example. It's already here. I adjusted this so that it would stick. But here's, like, for instance, if you're going to come down like this and you clamp down some paper and then you raise it up and it don't want to come back up. There's a couple things you want to look for. The first thing you want to look for is just kind of turn this machine up and make sure this spring isn't broken or something, because this is the spring that pulls it back. Make sure it's still on these. You're gonna have a spring. It's right on that bolt right there, and right on that one. So there's, just make sure this spring is still intact. If it breaks on one of these ends, then we just have to replace that spring. But as long as that spring's intact, it's going to be this. 99% of the time, it's going to be this right here. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to pop the thing back up so it can, okay, right here you got these bolts here. These are these adjuster bolts, and you can actually tell if it's there's two sides. There's one on this here and there's one up front. Okay, there should be a little bit of gap like that. That's almost probably too much of a gap, but there should be a slight gap between the end of that bolt and this, and you can tell if it's been rubbing on this metal, this nut, and you can see that that one's been rubbing on the metal a little bit and kind of took some of that paint off, and why this one's nice and clean. But it actually needs to be adjusted out a little bit. It should, as you can see, it's about, I'd say about 3 millimeters away from this, but that's because you want to kind of turn that one, get it a little closer. It's about, you keep it about a millimeter or two away. But basically, if it's getting stuck, you want to look for which side. It could be either one of these sides or both. And look for the side where it's rubbing. If it's rubbing on both, then you may need to adjust both. But if you see only one side where it was rubbing, and by doing that, you lower it all the way down to see it. Okay. Be careful with this blade. It is. You will have to remove this cover here to get to this. So this blade could be potentially hazardous. It's sharp right there. So be very careful with that. Okay. Bring it all the way back to the top. And what you're going to do is you're going to back this off. You first need to, I got a 10 millimeter wrench here is what you're going to need. You're first going to loosen this one up here, and then back it up a little bit. And then you're going to start turning this one. It would be clockwise to loosen it, to give it more, to bring this bolt in so it doesn't get stuck. And you probably just want to go a few turns, and just to make sure it's not sticking anymore. And I can see right there, there's a little bit of play now, but it's still, you can probably come a little bit more even. You want there to be a little bit of play going back and forth like this on this thing, but not much. And that's probably about right on both these. You can see this here. If you can bring the camera over the top here, you can see how that bolt is. There's a little bit of play there. And the same thing would be for that one there, which would be in between there. You can stick a screwdriver in there. There's a little bit of play. So depending on which side is rubbing, that's the side you want to adjust. You may have to do both sides, or you may have to do one. But look for the side that was rubbing. Okay, once you get it turned in a little bit, then you can tighten this one down. You can snug it back down with the 10 millimeter wrench. Okay, now that's snug and that won't go anymore. Now let's just try it again. Clamp it down. It's still sticking. We're going to do a little bit more. So let's loosen it back up. Loosen this nut up. Now back. Turn this one clockwise some more. And if it kept doing it, you may want to try the other side if this doesn't do it enough. I'll tighten this one back down. And I'll check this one more time. I may have tightened it. I may have, it went too much on it. So I backed this nut off here, and now I'm going to turn this one clockwise, the bolt. Okay. Okay, and I'll tighten this nut down. Let's try it one more time. Okay, now it don't stick anymore. Basically what happens is bolt it's adjusted too much, so it's pushed into this metal, and when it goes down, it don't want to bounce back up with that spring that I showed you at first. Again, I had this handle up, so the blade is up, and you can see this could be very dangerous here, so potentially, because there's that blade, stay completely away from it. You basically want to do this adjustment with this in the up position. If yours gets stuck here and you need to pop it up, turn it to the side here and get you a flat screwdriver, and you just get it in there and just kind of twist it until it pops up. Keep your fingers completely away from anywhere near the blade. Okay, that's basically it. All you have to do is back this bolt off a little bit and turn this one clockwise, and it will turn it. It will go inwards, and it will give it more space where it's not rubbing against that. You may have to do one side or both. It just depends on it. It could be rubbing on both, it could be rubbing on one. But that's basically it. Once you get it done, you just need to snug your bolts back up.
And when you mean by clockwise, which way are you facing?
I'm facing this way at it. I'm looking this way. So you turn it clockwise like that. Start there and turn it that way. Okay.
Because the way the video is showing, it would be counterclockwise.
Correct. The way the video is showing is counterclockwise, but I was standing on the other side of the paper, on the other side of the paper cutter, looking at the danger sticker here. When I'm looking at the danger sticker and looking that way, I'll be turning it clockwise. So basically it's going to depend on which side you're on. So start here and turn that way to bring it in and give you more space. Same thing with this side. Start here, turn that way to give yourself some more space to free up the sticking. And it'd be the opposite to loosen this one. You got to loosen this one first, and then you can turn that one in. And then once you get it to where you need it, then you tighten that one up and finish the job. But that's basically it. Once you're done, you can put your shield back on. And I did it with the blade up. It seemed to be easier, but because this handle here can get in your way as you're trying to do it. So I did it with the handle up and the blade up, which I'm not telling you to do, but it makes it easier. But if you do put the handle all the way up, again, that blade comes up and it's exposed. So, and with this shield off, you just have to be very careful not to cut yourself. If you're a little worried about that, do it with the blade all the way down. You can still do it. It just gets in the way just a little bit, but it can still be done. So if you're worried about the blade, keep it down. Alright, this video is published by MBKP International, LLC.